Hi everyone, thanks for watching. You can support our work on our website ageoftruthtv. And please like our videos, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, BitChute and Brighteon. And remember to hit the bell for notifications. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook. To be sure not to miss any of our shows, you can sign up for our newsletter on our website ageoftruthtv. Hi everyone, I'm Lauge Felix Black.
And I'm Lucas Alexander for Age of Truth TV. This is a special edition today because we have invited a guest on, a lady from Belgium who calls herself Sasa Delmundo. She says that that is not her real slave name, but this is the name that she uses. And she would like to come on our show today to present a very special document that she has written herself, a very eye-opening document about what is going on in the world right now, and we just want to do this presentation a little bit rock and roll, so we don't know too much about this lady, but in a moment we'll switch on to her camera in Belgium and talk to her a little bit, and then she will read her document. So this is what the show will be today, and we hope you will all have an interesting time meeting Sasa.
Hi Sasa.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, wow.
Welcome.
How are you?
This is the first time ever I do something like this. I also with friends, I never used all this. So it's...
Here we are. It was easy enough, right? To get into the,
Yes.
the meeting here. Yes. That's perfect.
How are you?
Besides nervous, I'm okay.
All right.
Hello.
This is hello, and this is the 20th of February 2022, and we welcome to the show a guest that we don't know before, previously unknown to us, but it's very fascinating to meet new people with interesting information. And we're so happy that you contacted us because you wanted to share something very profound, and you've written something, and you say that it's your first time being on camera, but we are in Copenhagen, Denmark, and you are in Belgium. So we welcome to the show Sasa Delmundo.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to come on your show. I'm very nervous also, so I hope that the people will give me a break on that. But I have very important news. I'm a medium, what they call a psychic medium, and I receive clear information from source. And it's like I'm some kind of a human typewriter for the divine from time to time. And well, this has been like this all my life, but I had a hard time myself to believing that it was really true what I was experiencing, because with my ratio it was really kind of strange. So I have had proof of reality out of that realm. Otherwise, I would not been able to accept it myself. But since then, it's been a process, and I've been growing in it and learning how to understand and work with that realm and that force.
So would you call yourself, well, a channeler, I guess, obviously, but also clairvoyant?
Yes, that also happens. I get images up front that sometimes years later I see in real life the exact details and everything. I also make paintings up front. So I have a painting here I made 3.5 years ago. I didn't know how to paint at all. I never painted before. And suddenly I felt an urge to paint. And I said, okay, I go painting then. And even the spike protein, as it is presented in the media in the same colors and everything, is put on that painting long before. Yes, and that's how I realized also that the whole painting is like a predictive rebus. But I don't understand everything yet what is on it, because there's plenty of things on it. And at the time I painted it, I was not conscious of anything. I was thinking for more than 30 years about fundamental things that are wrong with the world in my view, but I was thinking it were just my thoughts. And I never thought that the government would be criminal at this level. We know for long that they were criminal and that they take a bit of money here and there and everything, and that some are bribed. That we knew for a long time, but we didn't know that actually, in my view, they are members of the biggest, most powerful, most wealthy crime syndicates in the world. And they pretend to be politicians and judges and what the like. They have plenty, media, everything. There are movies online where Klaus Schwab is bragging about having everybody in his pocket. And he is, for me, the operational headman of the crime syndicate. So they have been working on this for at least decades, maybe even very much longer. They have been putting enormous efforts with huge crowds of people, enormous billions of dollars into this. So it's clear that they are not going to back off after investing all that in this plan. They are not going to back off for anything. As long as they see possibility to carry on, they just move on. And we all know what the goal is. The goal is the Great Reset. That means that we will own nothing, but they will own it all. And we would even have to rent our clothes from them. And they get to decide everything we do by the digital prison they're building around us all. So I guess that would make us humans like the last species on Earth that they didn't engage yet fully, like for their zoo or something like that.
We are kind of part of, a collective experiment. And maybe also we are in this computer simulation on Earth,
Possible.
like being part of a computer game, being steered in an avatar in a way from something in another dimension than on this three-dimensional plane on which we operate and see everything.
There are many dimensions.
Yes.
There are very many dimensions. But me, myself, I am in two to three dimensions. Well, all of my life, actually. So I'm very grounded with my feet on the ground, but I'm with my head in the clothes.
What did you do before you started experiencing that you had these abilities of being a clairvoyant and a channeler, or seeing these images and feeling that there is something more, messages from another realm?
Yes. So images I get like a picture that is shown in front of my third eye, and that sometime later in life I encounter it in reality. Then I get messages from deceased people that I don't know at all. I never knew them. but I know some relatives from them. So sometimes I have these messages like for months in my head, all the time repeating the same message. Just like the one I remember now was a 22-year-old who was murdered, and he gave me a message for his mother, which I knew only by internet. So he gave me this message, and I did not want it to see this mother because it's very confronting. This woman is very much in grief. So, but he continued to give me the message all over every day again. So after, I think, 3 months or something, I decided to go to the mom and just tell her, because I couldn't take it anymore. And she said, well, that is strange. She said to me, last week I spoke to somebody else who did not know my son either, but she told me exactly the same message. And she says also, it is the same message that I am dreaming, but I thought it was only dreams.
Wow, so she actually received that message from her son herself.
Yes, yes, but she thought, yeah, well, it was a dream, you know. But by receiving the same message from two different people who don't know each other, who did not know her son and everything, she had confirmation that what she dreamed was really her son communicating to her.
Was it a good message?
Yes, very good. Yes.
So what did you do, Sasa, before you had these experiences of being a clairvoyant?
You mean professionally?
Yes.
Oh, I've been doing plenty of things. I went to Africa and I worked for foreign affairs, development. And then after that, I came back and I worked for British Petroleum. But it made me sick working in those things. It really made me physically sick. Well, I stayed sick at home after that.
Yeah, where in Belgium do you live at the moment?
Near Antwerpen.
Adverb, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I will be leaving here soon.
Okay.
So, yes. And this whole
But you'll still stay in Belgium, huh? You'll stay in Belgium.
Probably.
Mm.
Probably. This whole experience has transformed my life in every possible way.
It's also known, you know, being in this field for so long, that Belgium is one of the main headquarters for the Illuminati and some of the satanic rituals that are taking place, especially at the Mothers of Darkness Castle in Belgium as well. Do you know anything about how this syndicate or these dark elitists, they actually operate in and out of Belgium?
Well, yes and no. That they are doing all this on this level, I know for less than 2 years. I have been examining also that because I'm a fact eater. I need to understand everything with my ratio also, and it needs to fit together. Otherwise, my ratio won't accept anything actually. But we had a long time ago already the case Dutroux. I don't know if you know the name, Marc Dutroux, the pedophile, child murderer, and everything. Well, then you have the WikiLeaks files on the case Dutroux. So everything that wasn't told to us at the time, but for me, it all makes sense. I have been also examining things about MK Ultra, the Monarch children, all those things. We have also whistleblowers, so as well here as in Holland, which is just very, very nearby here. So yes, I think it's all true. I have been also studying now the Satanism. It's very strange also because I translated the book of the Great Reset of Klaus Schwab in my language so that I would really grasp good what is written in it. And because lots of people I know, they all said to me, yeah, well, it's written in English. It's annoying to read in a different language, because in your mind, you're translating instead of comprehending the information. To do the same, two things at the same time is difficult. So, okay, that made me want to translate the book, because I said, well, we need to know exactly what this man is writing. And so I started to write between his, I kind of ended my own book on his. It just happened. And I started I made a second part on it, which I called Valentine's book, because it was last year on Valentine's, and I had to read the message that it was for our Valentine, for humanity's Valentine. And I have been doing this work, and that made me reread it, I guess 7 times in a row, to make sure that I did not make one single mistake, because I needed to be sure. And every time I read it again, I found new things. And after 5 times, I realized that I started to be able to read satanic.
Really? So what you also found in the book by Klaus Schwab was messages or hidden, let's say, words or sentences that...
Sentences.
Pardon?
Then he makes lots of sentences into sentences.
Right. So you will say that there's symbolism hidden, and you have to be able to decode it to understand it. Is that what you mean?
Yes. And people who read this book only once, what is a normal thing to do, they won't notice this, because myself, I only noticed it after 5 times. So.
And in what way did you think or understand that this was satanic, what was written?
Well, it's hard to say, because it's all over the book everywhere. So, but I underlined it and put it in bold, and then I explained each time under it what it is, so that other readers see it from the first time instead of from the 5th time.
Did you also do that in English, or did you only do it in Belgium?
No, I repeated the exercise in English to be able to send it worldwide. And I also sent it to Klaus Schwab himself.
Well, that's probably not gonna make him very happy, do you think?
No, I don't think so, not at all. I'm quite sure even. But that's his problem, of course. Huh? What he's doing is not making me happy also. So, okay. He throws the ball.
What do you think, Sasa, is what he is really doing? I mean, he's part of this cult. He's part of many people that has been orchestrating the New World Order and this whole hidden dark satanic agenda for many, many decades, and probably also centuries. But how big a part do you think he is playing in this? Do you think he's just another puppet, or is he one of the puppeteers?
Well, apparently he's half a Rothschild from mother's side, so he could be quite high up anyway. But in March 2020, I had some really experience. I can only call them miracles. And one of those things which happened through me, is that I received a text about the devil. And I called this text Beastie Boy. It's a very strange writing, because you can see that it's like written by 2 different persons. A part is written by me, and a part is written through me.
Wow. And do you think that, let's say, the devil wrote through you, or was it something else?
Well, no, not the devil wrote through me. It were maybe God or my angels, I don't know always. it's clear that there are different entities, but I do not know always who is who.
But they were exposing it.
Yes, they were exposing it because in March 2020, I wasn't aware of anything yet. So, and when I get this text, I will send them later to you. It's really very special. And it's not long. When I received this text, I didn't know anything yet, but I was all the time seeing Bill Gates in front of my mind's eye. So I'm putting my money on Bill Gates because of that, only because of that.
In what way do you mean you're putting your money?
As being, let's say, the king. The real
but don't you just think that Bill Gates is playing a part and he is being placed in this position in order to do their bidding or being part of it? I mean, supposedly he's only a puppeteer. Yes. He is the man in front where the people in real, yes, who are really in power, you don't actually see them.
Yes, that's what they want us to believe. So I think that he plays a front man to hide his actual status. I think, yeah, because of this image I received when I wrote this letter, then I sent it into the world by Facebook, and I had the most creepiest experience ever that evening, that night even went on. Really darkness approaching me through the internet in ways that I never experienced before. It was really bizarre, but okay. After all, what can they do? Huh? They can only kill our bodies. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's a lot of censorship at the moment. We know that, yes, definitely also through Facebook. So we need to get it way further out there. And yes, you actually did what is a channel, this text, this long message, these scriptures or whatever you want to call this document that you sent to our producer here. Yes, this manifest. And please tell us, how did that come about? Why did you write it? Was it something you felt, or was it just your opinion?
No, it was not my opinion, because I had to read it several times myself after writing it to be able to accept it with my ratio, because it's really way out of the box. We are grown up in a certain matrix. Everything we think is normal. And well, this goes really out of that. So I really needed to see with my ratio also if it is possible to do, and it is possible.
So did that have anything to do with your translation, or, well, deciphering, decoding what was written in some kind of as a hidden message in the Great Reset book by Klaus Schwab?
No, because the Great Reset book, it was 1 year ago. And this is 2 or 3
people can obtain a copy of your translation and your decoding.
Yes, from the Great Reset, yes.
And how can they get that document you've written?
Well, for now it's on my Google, because I don't have a website. I'm not good with computers at all. So I will try to make it available elsewhere also because Google, but apparently it is written that we have to defeat the devil with his own weapons.
Interesting. Or maybe you can give it to Lauge here, our producer. Yeah. Maybe he can put up a link on ageoftruthtv, which is our website.
Yes, very nice. Thank you.
Or underneath this video, which hopefully will be available on our channel on YouTube, but if not, on BitChute and Brighton, and certainly on our website, ageoftruthtv.
Nice.
Yes.
I have to revisit a little bit, because the second part that I ended on his book was me searching for a way to let's say, govern the world ourselves, of course, but within the money matrix. It was a try, but now since I received this manifest, I know the way out. I know that, well, within the money matrix wasn't the way out anyway. Well, it's very easy, actually. What gives them their power? It's money. It buys them protection also. So if there is one thing in the world, one weapon that we all have together in our hands, then it is money, because it's the one and only thing that gives them their power. We have to break the power of money. And also money, people should realize that it is very, very black magic. It's sorcery. It is the main black magic instrument used on earth to enslave us all.
And also the frequency of fear, right? Because they actually, they feed on that, because there's a lot of talk and a lot of speculation, but there's also a lot of researchers we've talked about who say that they have witnessed that these people are not actually, these top elitists who are doing these dark rituals, that they're actually not human. They're just taking on the form of a human. What are your thoughts on this theory?
Well, I know that what we call aliens, that they really exist. That I know for 100% sure. But I do not know in every form they exist. I have no idea of which forms exist, of what are they exactly capable of. I only know that they are capable of really amazing things, comparing to us humans. Also in our physical realm, they can do that. So that I know for 100% sure.
They can change the projection within the three-dimensional frequency on which we operate, especially if they vibrate maybe on a higher or maybe a lower frequency, however you want to see, you want to whatever perspective you have on the frequencies. Yes. But they can certainly, they say, take on another form and change the holographic structure.
Yes, I think it's almost without limit what they are able to do. The good ones are able to cure us in one instant like this. They broke down my former car on a very strange way that cannot be explained in any other way. Just because one day I went into my car and I was thinking, I would like to have another car. I'm tired of this car. It was old and all that. And so they start working on it in a really strange way. Well, so what they can do for the good, they can also do for the bad. I know that they can take over our bodies also, because I experienced it myself once. It was very scary and strange to experience that.
In what way did you experience that? What, an alien force took over your body?
Well, anyway, it was a very dark force. And it was not something of the earth. But whatever it was exactly, I have no idea.
Did you see it?
No. I felt it. It took over my body. And it was very strange. It gave me a very strange energy. And it also physically energy. And somebody was also triggering me at that moment. And I was getting so mad. And I stand up and I said to this person, and now it is enough. And I get up. And suddenly I realized that my hand is making the devil's sign to this person. I immediately took back my hand because I do not want to do this. But it was very strange to notice that this happens through your body.
But Sasa, do you think that you are what they call a targeted individual? Have you thought about that?
Yes, I know. Well, it is what it is. I can't help it. I cannot make that stop me to do what I have to do in this time.
But do you feel, well, continuously or occasionally that this happens to you, that this force, dark force, is taking over your body? Does that still happen, or did it only happen once?
No, it only happened once. What made me realize that it can happen, and it was a very unique feeling also. So,
was there any pleasurable,
no,
let's say,
no,
feeling?
No, I was horrified. I was amazed and I was horrified. I do not want anything to do with it. Not in myself, not out of myself, nowhere.
Do you think that people that you could categorize as being psychopaths or sociopaths, do you think that they are either soulless beings or maybe taken over by archons or demons or something like that?
I think both possibilities exist. It will not be the same for everybody. And evil has many ways to infiltrate into human souls, like by pedophilia.
Why do you think that horrific thing, which we hear about all the time, a lot of people coming out talking about those terrible things happening to children, why do you think that they do that?
Well, they always have several reasons for doing one thing. It always serves more than one purpose at the same time, everything they do. So one purpose is to remain young, because they use the baby's blood for the adrenochrome. Klaus Schwab even makes a reference to that in his book.
Does he really?
Yes, he says that age is not a fatality. So if age is not a fatality, you must wonder, why is age not a fatality? How come? Because for everybody else, age is a fatality.
Yeah, I mean, that what we usually see with those top elitists is that they become very old, and they die between the age of 95 and 103 or something in between, and they all become that old, and I guess they kind of have to die at some point to make it, to make it believable to the public, so to speak, in a way.
Yes, because from some of them, I really wonder how old they are really, like Queen Elizabeth.
Especially if they've taken another form, a human form, but are something else within.
Yes, of course. It is what I received about the alien shape-shifting forms, so that there are many differences, but you have the ones who look like humans, who can physically shapeshift, but then you have the others that they remain invisible, but like they could be right next to me at this moment. They have been hanging over my home 2 summers ago, showing them to me.
In a spaceship or what?
Well, I saw spaceships before in my life. It was also a strange experience. The first time, you really don't believe your own eyes. You think, do I really see what I'm thinking that I'm seeing? It was clear daylight, huh? Then the second time it went already a bit better, but then 2 summers ago they showed it was like a big round cloud with a very dense how do you call it, neck. It was dense, the cloud, the below part of it, and the sun was shining through with one beam on one side of it, and it was so strange because the sun was shining on one side, but the beam came through another side. So I said, this is not possible. So I was looking at this phenomenon, really intrigued, and suddenly they materialized for me to see them out of this dense lower part of this big round clouds. And it was like a city, like a platform, like a city on a platform, not like some airspace craft stuff or something, but
so
more
was it like a space city in a way?
Yes, that can make herself visible from out of the clouds.
So I mean that there is an interesting scene in the second Star Wars film that they made, the original Star Wars films, The Empire Strikes Back, and there is a place called Cloud City within the clouds, and then there's this floating city which is some kind of a space station in a way. I mean, that just gave me that. It kind of reminded me of that.
I have to start watching some movies because I hear about all those movies, and I know that they have been doing predictive programming and announcements, satanic announcements and stuff like that, because they do it everywhere, and they have Hollywood in their pocket, of course. So I'm aware of that, but I don't watch movies.
So you did see the cloud, and first it was a formation of clouds, and then it transformed into something that looked material, or what?
No, it was one big round dense cloud, and it materialized in front of me out of that cloud for me really to see it. And I really looked because I was thinking again, are my eyes cheating on me? It's because it's so bizarre. You do not expect to see anything else than a cloud after all.
Was it a specific color or metallic in a way?
Yeah, metallic with bluish and white, like and grayish, like the colors you see in the sky, but it was distinct and really I could clearly see the buildings and everything on it.
And did you see some kind of high-risers?
What is a high-riser?
Skyscrapers, tall buildings.
Well, it's hard to say from below how tall something is when you look into the sky. But I think that there were anyway quite massive things on it.
It must have been if it was far away.
I don't know. It's hard to say the distance. So if you cannot say the distance. If you look during daytime in the sky, you cannot say this is 1 kilometer or what. You just say, okay, it's visible or not visible.
For how long did it stay visible to you in the sky?
I don't know really, because I did not pay attention to the time, but in my feeling, it must have been a few minutes. It took the time for me to accept that what I was seeing was really in front of my eyes. And the moment I accepted that, I give them the 2 thumbs up. And I told them, okay, guys, I saw you. And it went away. So it like dematerialized again. And the clouds dissolved and nothing anymore. Okay.
Very, very interesting. It's an interesting story, isn't it?
What about David Icke? Do you follow his work as well?
Well, it's kind of funny, but to be honest, until 2 years ago, I also was misled and cheated. Yeah? And, you know, they say here so much, yes, he's a conspiracy theorist and everything. And I saw some things he said, but I was thinking, yes, well, I'm not going to pay much attention to that because apparently these people are conspiracy theorists. I was believing that at the time. And yeah, so, but since I woke up with a very big bang inside my head, I listened to several of his films, and I know now that he is connected to the same realm as I am, only that I before didn't realize it so clearly. You know, you can think it's your fantasy or something like that. You don't know if you have not do the work and study it, you have no idea what it is. So I was there before. Huh?
So now you understand that he, like other people who are in this field, that they were actually, that they are not, I mean, a conspiracy theorist is just a really bad reputation that the elitists and the media is giving people here in this field. And they don't really study it. They don't take the time to look into this massive pile of work and a lot of effort they have put into their presentations and books, and it's quite extraordinary. And now you know the meaning of tapping into something other than just the three-dimensional realm. Huh?
Yes. Before I was just doing it without knowing what it was, and I was thinking, oh, this is strange, eh? And I went on with my life. And next thing I said, oh, this is strange again. Eh? So it's a strange combination of receiving things and being in the unknown at the same time. Natural law is an extremely important part of the manifest that I received. Without natural law, it is not possible. So we have to learn that. That means in theory and in practice at the same time. And I find people having often a hard time accepting it because they're breaching it. And when they're breaching it, even before I was aware of the concept myself, I was automatically doing it because it's my nature. So when they breach it, I slam them with words really hard sometimes.
So talking about your manifest and your document, I think this will be a good time to start with the presentation and what you wanted to share with all of us.
Okay. So the manifest showed me our wonderful new world as we can create it. It's composed in several parts that I will try to make visible. It's not only how the wonderful new world can be and will be, because I have the images received already, but it's also the one key for humanity to break the dark occult power of money, and by doing so, breaking their earthly power of the ones using it against humanity. There is no other way. We will not get protection from justice systems, governments, all that. It's not going to happen. So we have to find something out of the system. And that's truly the one and only thing we can do, is break the power of the money. And how do we do that? We do that by presenting concrete enough for people to see it already in front of them, the world as he can be, once these guys are locked up, and then you can say, yes, but how will they be locked up? Well, they won't, as long as their money can protect them. So we first have to devalue all money, because by devalue it totally, we devalue the power of it. And then the power that they now have because of their money will crumble.
Do you feel that more people have to wake up to know about this in order to make it happen? Because a lot of we've been talking, especially in the last 2 years, but also prior to this, and we've been doing our show for 11 years, and there's been a major change and a mass waking up actually since that time. But most people in general, they're still unaware and are fighting to keep the old new world order system going. So I mean, how can more people wake up, especially now when the world is so divided?
Well, first of all, this manifest that I received is not at this point actually for the people who are not awake up to reality, let's say, what is going on, because that's the first step they need to make first. If they're not willing or able or whatever to do that step, it is pointless to present them the second step, because they don't want to see that we are in prison. So how will they accept that we need to apply this to have the way out of this prison? It's not possible. So waking those people up is still a very good thing to do, but it's a different part of the work. This part of the work is for the ones already awakened. So that means the ones who do also already understand that regardless of the efforts like from Rainer Fulmich and all that, this is not going to depower them in any way.
But don't you think it's a wonderful thing what Rainer Fulmich is doing now with these court cases and whatever he has instigated here?
Yes, absolutely. And it's very useful also because with this trial, of course, they will present all the evidence and everything, and then nobody will be able to say that they are innocent, they are victims from conspiracy theorists and all that. When in a court system, the evidence are overwhelming, okay, they are guilty. Then there can be no discussion anymore over it. And that's why it's very useful. But it's not going to take away their power. He himself also says that, because he says the system is too rigged. There are some places in the world where it's still functioning a little bit, but it's not enough. And
he's using the system's own tools in a way against them, and trying to wake people up also in a way, you know, with this, which is a wonderful thing to do. Yes, we applaud that.
Yes, and by presenting the evidence, he makes sure that they cannot say, "Oh, it's not true. It's all conspiracy lies." So it's very important work, but and I'm very sure that it will be applied because he has already done it. It's one thing that I received from the other realm also. 1 year ago or something, was that all elements have to come together. So for me, all those things, what everybody is doing, you, me, him, on any level at all, that are all those elements, that all has to come together. It's like a jigsaw, and in a certain way, it is already made even.
Yes, and we hope that all the puzzle pieces will fit together in a very positive and constructive way from
Yes.
now on. So
Yes.
what in regards to your manifest, how would you like to approach it?
Big lines first, and then read certain examples of how we can do certain things in our new world in the future, so that people can see the image, because that is not an important work for the awakened ones, is to study on the manifest, to puzzle in their mind with the idea, so that they themselves can see for themselves that it can really work, because we are conditioned by indoctrination, of course, to say, oh, this is utopia.
Utopia.
Yeah, so it is disregarded, but that's a conditioned reflex from the mind. Also, we have the neurological connections in our brains are made within the money matrix and the entire matrix. So often they don't accept anything what goes out of that matrix right away. It needs practice, and it needs some brain plasticity that you can make the new neurologic connections necessary for that. It takes time to think about it, so that your ratio also sees it. And then, if you really see it, please become an ambassador, because this idea has to reach as soon as possible, as much as possible, people all over the world. It's the only way. A global problem can only be solved in a global solution. And we do not know how much time we have left before Schwab executes some kind of cyber polygon. And then it will be much harder to transmit the message. So we have to do it now while we can. So by making the new world, our new world, visible, you give the people in the world the idea of the utopia we will have, and that is perfectly realizable once they are gone, so that they know why they are doing it, breaking the power of money. They also have to understand the alternative, cyborg slaves forever and every generation after us. So that's not going to happen. I told trouwens Mr. Schwab, when I sent him my version of the Great Reset, I told him that I had permission from Suez to tell him that his Great Reset is not going to happen, because they have to announce satanic things, and we have to counter-announce if we want to break the spell. So it's done. Don't worry about it. Anyway, people will more easily accept the way out written in the manifest if they know the bad alternative also, because people are generally quite afraid to let loose of what is trusted, what they know all of their life. And the thing is, they have to do the work and the preparations as soon as they understand. That means that they have to make sure that everybody knows it, and they have to start growing their own food, becoming independent of the system to survive. Because, of course, the globalists will anyway, because it's written in the book too, try to hunger us out. That's in the planning anyway. So we must be prepared that they cannot do this. And that's why we have to grow our own food collectively or individually or both or whatever on a local scale. so that if they stop producing and transporting food to us, okay, no problem. We have to also have to make our own water supplies, because the water is not safe to drink anymore. And it will be only worse within this process. So that they know how to do this. And while they do that, and they inform others, and it grows and it grows and it grows, we, in a kind of a way, wait until we are enough people in the world to see the idea where we are going to and how we have to do it. And once we hear by the buzz of internet that the word is out all over, then we can put a date. We say, okay, this date, we all do it at the same time. We pull out the plug of their system. If, of course, they are not first to do it, the monetary reset and all that. Because they want to do it to introduce, the central bank digital currency, social credit system and all that. And the universal basic income. So it's possible that they will be first, but even if they are first, the more ahead we are already comparing to now, the stronger we are when they do it. And then it's still time to say, oh, no, we are enough already. We don't play with you anymore. So not playing with them anymore, that means that everybody who works for governments or for multinationals or anything the like, just stops working. Strike, general strike worldwide, and continuing the strike until it is done, totally done. At the same time, by working strikes, also a total payment strike. Klaus Schwab has also written in his book that they would get certain problems if too many people at the same time don't pay anymore their mortgages and bills and so on, because we pay it all to them, or by paying our bills, or by paying our taxes all the time. It goes to them also. So if we stop paying taxes, mortgages, bills, fines, even orders we do at multinationals, because we are not allowed to steal, but we from multinationals, since they are the ones attacking us, we are allowed to put them dry. So to cut the money supply and to cut also the working supply. Also, Klaus Schwab has written it in his book also, that they have robots to replace all of us. So everybody's going to lose their job anyway. And then to be able to feed yourself and to survive, you will have to accept the universal basic income. And for having that, you will have to have the jabs all the time. You will have to obey all the time. You will own nothing anymore, and so on and so on. So these people, if they go on strike, they might think, yes, but then I will lose my job. Well, they are losing it anyway. And if they don't do it, they will lose everything. With this manifestos, this new system, everybody will keep everything. Everybody who is not part of the offenders will keep everything. The only thing that we will no longer have is money, but we will no longer need it for anything anymore with the new system. Everything what is now owned by the globalists, like the multinationals, and they do all production in the world, just not artisanal. And so it's all owned by them. The people working there will all be replaced by robots anyway. So if we keep all that and we make it work for all of us, and instead of having it producing products that are made to I don't know the words. They make it so it breaks fast, so you have to buy new ones all of the time to make the money machine turning. It's not meant. It's not quality meant to be long used anymore. And if we change that aspect also, so we make everything sustainable, so they're SDGs. With the new system, we get them largely without any effort also. So because we do not have to produce to feed the money machine. That means that we can produce very sustainable, and that means that after a while, everybody has everything what it needs in sustainable form, and we do not have to produce anymore, or just for demographic growth. And everybody can pick up the task in this system which he feels or she feels which is his or her to do, as we already doing in the resistance movement. We all do what we can, not because of somebody paying us, because we're getting problems even because of it, but because it needs to be done. And in the new world system, it will be the same. And the rewards for everybody will be much bigger, because nobody will be short of anything. In this system now, 1% is having it all, and 99% is having headaches every month to pay the bills. So our life is totally controlled by that. In the new system, this will all be gone, so that people can do what they want to do, what they feel they like to do, what they find they need to do, or that needs to be done. And well, like this, what I'm not doing right now, for example, is okay. If nobody else is doing it, I'm doing it. I would also rather have somebody else doing it. But if there is not, and it needs to be done, you just take up the task. In the new world, it will be the same in every manner. And because we use the robots of the elite as they created especially for that, we will maximum use that. That means also that no one will have to work a lot anymore. It's not necessary. Let the robots do it for our benefits, general benefits. They are there, why not? I received from Source last year a song also, which is important. And it's Robert Palmer, The Best of Both Worlds is the name of the song. So it's information given to us, how to do things.
Oh, I thought you were gonna start singing now.
No. I wish I could.
Maybe some people don't feel that they have the possibility to just go out there growing their own food and leaving their jobs, leaving their homes or their apartments, and
No, not leaving your homes, not necessary. And also leave the jobs now at this moment, not necessary. For now, for this period, until we are enough worldwide, it's important to carry on life in the way that suits you the best way.
Do you think that people could start growing their own food within their apartment spaces or flats or houses if they don't live in the country, for example?
Yes. Well, there is rooftop gardening. It exists. You can find all about it online. That's also the way that the new world will work. That is, every problem you encounter, you just think about it, and you will see that always there are several solutions popping up right away, just like that. So if you live in the city, rooftop gardening, it is free space. Organize it, make it happen. What you can also do, that's in the a bit out of the cities, you have still small farmers. You know, they are having problems too, because the cabal is since long doing everything to make them impossible to work. Yeah? And on purpose, of course, because then they cannot provide food independently from them. So people can start, like in the cities, talking together first to say, okay, how are we going to find a solution? Maybe somebody knows somebody who lives somewhere near a farmer or something like that. Always first searching nearby. And then you go and you talk to the farmer and you say, listen, this is the problem. We are a group of, at this moment, so many people, and we want food provided. Can we make an arrangement with you that you fix that for us? Where I live in this region, it already exists since years. Biological food grown like this and distributed every week by picking up points, without any shop coming to it or anything.
Can you also buy meat from these farmers? I mean, I guess
yes.
Some people can that too if they're not going vegan or something.
Yes. We have all that here. And what we all can do quite easily, even if you have only the rooftops, that is make chicken coops. So you have chicken, you have eggs, the how do you call it in English? The male chicken, who makes lots of noise in the morning. The
rooster.
A rooster.
Let's say that's the nice word. There are two.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. That one. It doesn't bother so much the noise in the morning, because you have the city noise and everything. So it fades kind of away in the background anyway. You can also keep quite easily things like rabbits if you really need to have meat. Okay, it means that you have to kill it yourself. But that's a good thing too, because then you will see that it's not a chopped off piece of meat de-identified from the animal it was before that you buy in the shop, but you realize, okay, if I want to eat meat, it is an other living being that I will have to kill for it. So that will also start the inner transformation with many people, I think. I'm not against eating meat, like I received also in the manifest. Eating meat or fish is not evil to do, because some people really need it, okay? But what it is important is that what you eat, it was alive before, and the life of every being, human and not human, must be a good life, every moment of that life.
Absolutely, and it's actually also a good thing. It's not a religious thing, though, necessarily, but it's a good thing to bless the food. It's a good energy, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it is giving its life for you to be able to eat it. The Indians also, they said that when they go with the arrows, bow and arrow in the bush, shooting what they call bushmeat, that sometimes the animal comes and they really present themselves so that the hunter can take the best shot. It's the animal offering his body to the people to be able to feed themselves. So maybe that the animals know better than we humans that life is very much more than only the physical part we currently experience. So it's not so bad to die. What is bad is to live in bad conditions. That is bad. So, okay, this also was part of the manifest, the meat thing. Also, like for fish, they have this giant fish, tuna, like floating factories. They go in Africa, out in the Atlantic, and they take enormous quantity of tuna. They make much damage to the ocean bottom and everything. And then they even abort, it's been canned automatically, like they're really taking it all away, and they are damaging Mother Nature a lot. So this in the future will not happen anymore. And also, if their factories, we make only the sustainable things in it, so that they do not have to work a lot. So when they do not work, they do not pollute at all. And even when they work, we must make it in a way that it is as low polluting as possible. That means that we will more return to natural materials like hennep to build, and you can make plenty of things out of it, very sustainable. And I'm sure that it's a plant which will be grown very much in the future in the new world.
You're talking about hemp.
Yes, because now it is in most parts of the world not allowed. And of course, if they do not allow something, that means that it is something which is good for us. And it is in many ways good for us. Also, to make very sustainable, very green materials. We can even make car bodies out of it. So why not? Well, anyway, when these factories will be totally ecological and sustainable, then the rivers also will not be poisoned anymore like they are now. So you will have fish in every river again, which they are not anymore now. So by doing that, nature will restore herself, and that will give, in a natural way, food to everyone again. Perhaps I read a few pieces, otherwise no reading, yes. Well, one of the main things where the slave system is built on is the fact that we all have to pay to be able to have the right to, or the favor to exist on this planet, because they made it like that. It's like, imagine a bird and somebody taught him a trick to go and find stones all day. And then they say to the bird, you have to go and find stones every day. Otherwise, you're not allowed to fly in the air. You cannot sit on a stick. You cannot catch insects to eat yourself, and so on. And then the bird, well, anyway, they take him and they put him in a cage anyway. That's actually what they are doing with humans also. So we have a birthright as natural living beings on this planet. As much as this bird has the right to fly free in the air, we who live on the land must have the birthright to live freely on the land. Now you have to pay so much for it, for a piece of land, for to be able to get permission to build a modest home on it, that you have to go through a bank and pay 20 years for it if you are lucky. It is insane. And especially if you want a piece of land big enough to have a little bit of a house on it and some space to grow your food.
Well, it takes a lot. I mean, you have to pay a lot, even just living in the city in a small apartment, or taxes, or paying for food, paying for education, paying to go to the hospitals, if that's the kind of system you're living in. I mean, everything is insanely expensive. I mean, one individual pays, millions throughout a lifetime, or maybe many millions.
Yes, and if you see what they take on taxes on everything you buy, it's insane. So when they are gone, because we removed the power of their money, that means their multinationals are used for our general benefit. That means that the office buildings that they are currently theirs, because they will lose everything, of course, huh? Since they stole it all from humanity anyway, their office buildings will become empty because there will be no trade anymore. There will be cooperation, and there will be trade in the way that if you're my neighbor and I got chickens and you got tomatoes, we can trade, like this, like we want to. But no commercial trade. So all these office buildings will become available spaces for all the tent city people and all that. And all the ones who have a home, who owns a place, or even two places, if they earned it in an honest way, why not? Huh? They can all keep it for life, but everything that becomes available will be disposable for everybody who needs it. The only thing that you need to do, that is that everybody, if you see somewhere some else home that you want to go living, and you say, oh, okay, I want to move there. Is that the current home you use, you make it clean for the one taking it after you. And you just move. All this can be arranged by online platforms because we use the best of both worlds. And of course, if a home comes available, it's logic that it first becomes available for people of that region so that they can live nearby their family if they want to. And that can be done like by lottery, free lottery, of course. Huh? If there are more candidates for a home, then okay, let's do a lottery, and the one who has it, has it. It's an honest way. It's not giving preference to the one or the other. Everybody has as much the same chance as the others. So it's honest. So for everything you can, like this, move and find very simple, honest ways to do things. That's the way in the new world. So, okay, just the houses of the cabal, their art, objects, and all that stuff cannot be taken by anyone to use, because this is world heritage for the lessons of history from the people of the future, so that we can learn them how it were, how things happen. We can show them, and that is necessary because they would recognize it whenever it would pop up again straight away, so it will never be able to grow as much as it did today, ready to devour the human race. Because it always starts with a little small thing, the little breaches of natural law. So that's the only homes and items who can nobody can take. That's a very important one. Bon, yes, we have bijvoorbeeld, sometimes I mix with my language, sorry. We have for juridic system, there are several ways we can do it. We can do it by AI, by putting in every parameters, so that the machine calculates the sentence in an objective way, which humans, as we know now, do not always do. But if somebody is convicted for something by AI and they are not agreeing with the sentence, they can ask for a human tribunal. And we have to decide as humanity which things that we find capital sins. I'm thinking pedophilia, rape, stealing, murdering, telling deliberate lies, because it's very harmful, those kind of things. Because the only law that we will maintain is natural law, no other laws. So that means that everybody is totally free to decide whatever they want for themselves, as long as you do no harm. And if you do some harm in any way, even verbally to somebody, well, you will get the immediate response on that. And if you get that often enough, then you learn not to do that anymore. Because the response is also quite hard. And that's necessary, a hard response on the breaching of natural law.
Yeah, but who's going to give people that response? You're talking about AI. Would you want an AI machine, a computer, to be the, let's say, the ruler, the new government law?
No rulers, no rulers. No rulers of any kind. No rulers, no masters, no slaves. No, I'm saying only that it's a possibility, because that's all I'm giving, it's possibilities. But people will have to decide for themselves on many different levels, also very locally, how they want things done.
But do you think humanity is evolved enough to take responsibility themselves, to govern themselves, and
well, they have to learn.
How can we prevent people from doing these things, killings, murders, and rapes, and all the things that you talked about, stealing things from other people if things are free? I mean, yes. Who's gonna punish them for those crimes?
Yes, well, first of all, what we first have to do is teach them natural law, because not everybody knows it by themselves. It's in a way presenting a new social contract that says, listen, you have all the freedoms in the world, besides everything what harms anyone else.
But previously on the show today with you, we mentioned psychopaths and sociopaths and yes. maybe other people where you can put other diagnoses on them, and they don't have empathy, or they don't have very much empathy, and harm inflicted on other people won't hurt them in any way. Maybe it'll satisfy them.
That's correct. They don't have empathy for other people, but they have plenty of empathy for themselves, because it's all what matters for them. So if they, in the future, well, for me, it's possible to lock them up, because that will have to be decided democratically, like when the trials are done, like for instance by an internet poll or something like that, where people log in and then they can vote, but without tricking with the machines, of course. Everything is possible for me. Well, I think that people that you can in no other way stop from doing harm, you have to lock them up. You have to make it physically impossible for them. If there is no other way, there is no other way. The choice is up to them, after all. But what concerns the psychopaths, if they are deprived of their power, they will be no more than anybody else. Well, let's say that they try to trick somebody, but the person, because they are smartened up, because they learned it all, they immediately say, "Hey, what are you trying to do with me? That's not okay. Yeah? This doesn't work." Yeah? And you can cut people with words harder to pieces than with a knife. I can do this. I know. If I get mad, if somebody breaches natural law, I get mad, and my words really can cut somebody to pieces, and they hate me for it.
But
Yes,
so are you still are you still explaining, reading? I mean, you're not reading from the manifest, right?
no, not yet.
But you're explaining something, right?
Yes. Like it is now, we are all in this rat race for money, and if that is gone, that means that we do not have to put our children anymore in childcare. We do not have to put our elders in elder care. So those things will be in a natural way all picked up by the family, and as it is in countries still today, like in Africa, where you do not have all these systems to do that. I will do everything for this because I know it's the only way out.
So how should people contact you for maybe a possible interview?
By Facebook or Discord or Telegram.
Then please mention the address, the different addresses, how people can contact you, so we can write it underneath.
Yes. What is also happening since I wrote this manifest is that
there is a continuous noise on the. I don't know if you have a microphone or something, you can just adjust a little bit, because there's been a noise suddenly.
I think if it's is it the papers on the computer? Do you have the papers on the computer?
Okay.
Oh, it's good we have the technical person here. All right. So please do mention your different addresses for people to contact you.
I will. I also wanted to say, since I wrote this, I'm getting every now and then new parts of it, so it keeps on growing. It's how to I don't know how to look at certain things on which we are lied to all our lives since generations, which made us live in an unnatural way, which gives us problems, of course. So I'm receiving those parts too. So I will be.
So you can expand. You can expand on the document.
Yes,
as you acquire more information, you get to know more about it and put more important information into the manifest. Huh?
It is a live, living document.
Right. Right.
So I first do it all in my own language, in Dutch, and then I will translate it in English.
So when we air this program, can we put a link to the document, to the manifest, or how do we do that? Yes,
the link to the manifest, and maybe for me, since the link is a Google link, it is better if you put it on a website.
So how do we do it? We get a link from you, or we put it up or download it and re-upload it. But if we put a link underneath the video, it will be a direct link from where? The website, our website, or what?
Yes, your website.
Okay.
Because, also, people already told me that with the Google link, sometimes they get no access already.
All right. So we'll link from our website, ageoftruthtv. We will include it underneath the videos, wherever the videos will be. This video will also be on our website, ageoftruthtv. And then if people would like to talk to you and you would like to appear on their shows for more explanation on your thoughts and your philosophy, how can they contact you?
Yes, by Facebook, Discord, or Telegram.
What is your name? How do they contact you?
It is Sasa Delmundo.
And that is also your name on Facebook. If people,
Yes. Well, I have two names on Facebook because I'm always in Facebook jail, of course. I had, in a year time, 10 times 30 days of Facebook jail. So the social credit system is not working for me. That's clear. So I made a second one off, and it's called Sasa Delmundo. Well, it's a bit, it's a wink to Sasa Delmundo, of course. Huh?
And how do people write that? Type that? What is the letters? How do you spell it?
Well, they can, even if I'm in Facebook jail, they can always messenger me by Sasa Delmundo, and I have also a Tutanota account.
What's that?
Tutanota, it's a free email things that is not in the hands of Google and all that.
And what is your name there?
Well, I have several. I have one, Please Save the World, at tutanota.com.
And if they write that, Please Save the World, at whatever that word was.
Tutanota.
How do you spell that?
T-U-T-A N-O-T-A. Tutanota.
Is that Belgium?
No, I don't think so. It sounds more a bit like Italian or something to me.
Right. I don't know. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I'm having this Google and Gmail and all that stuff, but I'm having it today. But will it be still there tomorrow? I don't know.
okay, so you basically want people to either contact you on Facebook with your name, Sasa Delmundo, or that tuta whatever a thing, and then that we'll write underneath.
Yes, or by Telegram or by Discord also.
And on Telegram, your name is also Sasa Delmundo.
Yes, everywhere.
All right. Now we got that. Now we got that covered, huh? Okay. So final thoughts, and then we'll end.
Final thoughts is we all have to give it 100% if we want to succeed. And we have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
All right. Well, it's been very nice meeting you. Thank you so much for contacting us. It was nice to have this, just to put you on here and all your fascinating thoughts on life and a great perspective on how we can change the world. And I wish you all the best and good luck also with your work as a channeler. And yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
We are the elements that must come together. Eh? So we are all taking up the task. It's a very special roller coaster, but it's very interesting. Of course, it gives lots of whole new dimensions and opportunities also. So I think we really need to do everything to grasp them. There has never been such a huge opportunity for humankind to really free themselves.
And that's what we would want everybody to do right now.
Yes, me too.
Yes.
But I mean, then really, not like the fake free from before, but the real free.
Yes. And maybe we can meet up another time. But for now, I would just want to say thank you for being on Age of Truth TV.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Goodbye.
good.
Very nice.
Thank you so much, Sasa.
I'm excited.
Thank you very much to Sasa Delmundo for joining us on Age of Truth TV, and thanks to all of you for watching us. You can support us by clicking onto our website, ageoftruthtv. And please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications.
And you know you can also find us on BitChute and Brighton for all the videos that will be gathered there. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
And always, you know, if you're looking for a video or something is missing, you can always join us and look on our website, ageoftruthtv, which is our home. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. We'll see you all very soon.